What if the toughest moments of your life are not just obstacles, but the exact stepping stones you need to rise to your greatest potential? What if the pain, the struggles, the moments where you feel like you can't go on, are actually the moments that are shaping you into the person you were always meant to become? We often think that success is reserved for those who seem to have it all together, those who never break, never falter, never fail. But let me ask you this: is success really about never facing hardship? Or is it about how you push through those hardships, how you rise from the ashes, and how you use the challenges life throws at you as fuel for your personal transformation? You see, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that success is something that just happens for a lucky few. But in truth, success is earned. It's forged in the fires of adversity. It's built in the moments when you feel like quitting, but you push yourself to keep going anyway. It's in those moments when you find the strength within to continue, even though the world seems to be telling you to stop. I know you've been there. You've faced setbacks. You've felt the sting of disappointment. But what if I told you that the key to your greatness is hidden in those very struggles? What if you could learn to harness that pain, that frustration, and turn it into something powerful? Something that not only drives you, but transforms you. Today, I'm going to show you how to do exactly that, how to push yourself through tough times, not just to survive, but to thrive. Because the truth is, you've got everything you need inside of you right now to break through every barrier, to overcome every challenge, and to create a life that is nothing short of extraordinary. Chapter 1: The Power of Perseverance. Perseverance is not about avoiding the fall. It's about trusting that the act of jumping, of facing the unknown, will take you somewhere you've never been before. It's about accepting the discomfort, the fear, and the uncertainty, and still moving forward with the belief that something better awaits on the other side. But here's the truth: no one ever told you how painful that leap could be. They never warned you about the heartache, the struggle, or the crushing moments when you're gasping for breath, wondering if you've made the biggest mistake of your life. Perseverance doesn't feel glamorous. It isn't a smooth, effortless journey. In fact, it's messy. It's gritty. It's waking up every day when you don't feel like it, when everything inside of you is telling you to quit. It's pushing yourself forward one slow, uncertain step at a time, even when your mind is flooded with doubts. But the more you press forward, the more you realize something powerful. Perseverance doesn't just carry you through the tough times. It builds resilience in your soul. It strengthens your resolve, making you unshakable in the face of adversity. Think about the people you admire, the ones who have achieved greatness. They weren't born with some magical gift that made everything easy. They didn't find success waiting for them on a silver platter. They persevered through their darkest hours. They fought when it seemed like the world was against them. And what did that perseverance give them? The wisdom to navigate obstacles, the strength to face their fears, and the ability to rise higher every time they fell. Perseverance is what separates those who dream from those who do. It's what separates those who talk about success from those who achieve it. And let me tell you this: it's in those moments when you feel most defeated, most vulnerable, that your perseverance is the strongest. Because when you keep going, despite the pain, despite the fear, you unlock something inside of yourself that cannot be bought or learned in any classroom. So here's the challenge. The next time you find yourself at the edge, staring into the unknown, don't shy away from the leap. Don't let the fear hold you back. Lean into it. Embrace it. Trust that your perseverance will carry you to the place you're meant to be. And when you're on the other side, stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you've ever been, you'll know that it wasn't the easy path that led you here. It was your unrelenting perseverance that made it possible. Now, let's talk about how to harness that power of perseverance in your own life. Chapter 2: Turning Pain into Purpose. Pain is an inevitable part of life. It's the one thing that binds us all, regardless of our background, our dreams, or our circumstances. We all know what it feels like to face hardship, to lose something we care about, or to endure the weight of disappointment. And yet, despite how universal it is, pain often feels isolating. In those moments, it's easy to believe that we're alone, that no one understands the depth of our suffering. But what if pain wasn't just something to survive? What if pain could be the very thing that propels you forward, that fuels your greatest achievements? You see, pain has a unique power. It's the kind of power that, when harnessed correctly, can ignite a fire within you. It can be a catalyst for growth, transformation, and purpose. The key is to change the way you view pain. Instead of seeing it as an obstacle or a punishment, begin to see it as a teacher, an opportunity for you to learn, grow, and evolve. Take a moment and think about the hardest thing you've ever been through. Perhaps it's a loss, a failure, or a mistake you regret deeply. I want you to reflect on the emotions you felt during that time. The grief, the anger, the frustration. It may have felt like the world was collapsing around you. But in those moments, did you learn something about yourself? Did you uncover hidden strength that you didn't know existed? Because that's what pain does. It forces us to confront parts of ourselves we'd rather avoid. It strips away our distractions and excuses, leaving us with nothing but our raw, unfiltered selves. And in that rawness, we have a choice. We can choose to let pain defeat us, or we can choose to let it define us, not as a victim, but as someone who has the power to rise, to evolve, and to transform. Let me share a story with you. There's a man named Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist and Holocaust survivor who went through unimaginable suffering in Nazi concentration camps. His entire family was lost, and his body was pushed to the brink of death. Yet through all of this, Frankl discovered something profound. The ultimate freedom we have as human beings is the freedom to choose how we respond to our suffering. In the midst of unimaginable pain, he found a way to give his suffering meaning. He made the conscious decision to use his pain as fuel for his purpose, to help others find meaning in their own suffering. Frankl went on to become one of the most influential psychologists of the 20th century, writing the famous book Man's Search for Meaning. His pain didn't break him. It became the driving force behind his greatest work. This is the power of turning pain into purpose. So, how do you begin to use your own pain as fuel for growth? The first step is to acknowledge it. Don't suppress it or run from it. Feel it, understand it, and then ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience shape me into someone better? It might be hard to see it in the moment, but every challenge you face is an opportunity. Every setback is a lesson in disguise, and by embracing pain, not as a burden, but as a teacher, you open yourself up to a world of possibility, growth, and transformation. Remember, your pain is not a life sentence. It's not something you're meant to carry forever. It's a passage, a chapter in your story. But you have the power to write the ending. Chapter 3. Building Unbreakable Resilience. Resilience is the muscle of the mind. It's the ability to bend but not break, to withstand the storm without being shattered. Life will throw everything at you, the unexpected twists, the setbacks, the heartbreaks. The question is not if you'll face difficulty, but when. And when that moment comes, will you be able to stand strong? Resilience is the difference between being defeated and finding the strength to keep going. It's the unwavering belief that no matter how many times you fall, you can always rise. But here's the catch. Resilience doesn't come from avoiding pain or hardship. It comes from embracing it and learning how to bounce back stronger each time. Think about a tree in a storm. The wind howls, the rain pours down, and the branches bend under the pressure. Yet the tree doesn't snap. It flexes. It sways with the storm, allowing it to pass over without breaking. And when the storm is over, it stands tall, its roots deeper, and its trunk stronger. This is what resilience looks like. It's about learning to move with the challenges rather than resisting them. It's about developing the mental and emotional flexibility to adapt, even when life feels out of control. And over time, that resilience becomes your foundation. It becomes your armor. So how do you build this kind of resilience? It starts with your mindset. The most resilient people are not those who are born strong. They're the ones who refuse to let setbacks define them. They understand that hardship doesn't last forever, and every failure is just a lesson in disguise. They see challenges not as a threat, but as an opportunity to learn, adapt, and grow. Let me give you an example. Have you ever heard of Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb, who revolutionized the world of technology? But what most people don't know is how many times Edison failed before he succeeded. In fact, he went through over 1,000 unsuccessful attempts to create a working light bulb. Think about that, 10 failures. But instead of giving up, he famously said, "I have not failed. I have just found 10 ways that won't work." That's resilience. The ability to look at failure not as the end, but as a stepping stone towards success. Building resilience means shifting your perspective. Instead of seeing failure as a permanent defeat, you start to view it as a temporary setback, something that can teach you valuable lessons and make you stronger. It's about taking those knocks, those hits, and getting back up every time. The more you get up, the stronger you become. The more you face adversity, the more you learn how to navigate it. Another key element of resilience is having a purpose. When you have a clear sense of why you're pushing forward, no challenge feels impossible. Your purpose acts as a compass, guiding you through the tough times and keeping you grounded when the road gets rough. It's what drives you to keep going, even when it feels like everything is falling apart. Without purpose, setbacks feel like insurmountable walls, but with purpose, they become mere bumps in the road that you know you can overcome. This is why it's crucial to not only know your goals, but to deeply connect with them. When you face challenges, and you will, it's your why that will keep you anchored. Your why will be the fire that burns within you, giving you the strength to keep pushing even when everything around you seems to be collapsing. So, how can you start building resilience in your life? Push yourself through the things that scare you, and understand that each challenge is building you. You may stumble, you may fall, but the key is to keep moving forward. Resilience is not about avoiding pain, it's about mastering it. It's about finding your strength in the face of adversity, knowing that every challenge makes you stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the next one. The more resilient you become, the less you'll fear failure. You'll see it for what it is, a lesson, an opportunity, and a reminder that you have the strength to get back up every single time. Chapter 4. Maintaining momentum in the darkest times. There will come moments when it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on you, when the obstacles in front of you seem insurmountable and every step forward feels like it's costing you more than you can give. It's in those moments, those dark soul-testing times, that most people falter. They give up, they turn back, or they settle for a life far less than they're capable of. But you're different. You've learned the art of perseverance, the power of pain, and the strength of resilience. Now, the true test begins. Can you maintain momentum when the road gets rocky and the light at the end of the tunnel seems so far away? Here's the truth. When life gets tough, most people stop moving. They lose sight of their goals, and the momentum they once had grinds to a halt. But the people who thrive, the ones who keep moving forward even in the darkest of times, are the ones who understand one simple principle. Momentum is everything. Momentum is the force that keeps you going, even when you don't feel like it. It's what keeps your feet moving when every ounce of your energy is telling you to stop. It's what propels you forward, even when you can't see the end goal. And when you've built momentum, even the darkest days won't stop you. The question then becomes, how do you maintain momentum, especially when everything feels like it's falling apart? The first step is to keep moving, no matter how small the step. It's easy to think that progress only counts if it's big and dramatic, but the truth is, even the smallest step forward is progress. Even when it feels like you're not making any headway, every little action you take is building towards something greater. This is what it means to have sustained momentum. It's not about leaping ahead in giant strides. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, and doing what you can, no matter how small. Here's a personal example. There was a time when I was working toward a major goal, something that seemed impossible. I felt overwhelmed by the enormity of the task ahead. But instead of focusing on the big picture, I focused on the next step. I didn't worry about how much further I had to go or how long it would take. I simply took the next step, then the next, and the next. Slowly but surely, I began to build momentum. One of the greatest traps we fall into is thinking that progress has to be fast. But real growth, the kind that lasts, happens over time. It's a series of small, consistent actions that compound into something much greater. It's the power of cumulative effort, of showing up day after day, even when it feels hard. But there's more to momentum than just action. You also need focus. When the road gets tough and distractions are everywhere, your ability to stay focused on your goal will be your superpower. The key is to block out the noise, silence the inner critic, and zero in on what matters most. Focus is the energy that drives your momentum. It's the laser-like attention to your goal that keeps you moving forward no matter what life throws at you. Let me ask you this. How often do you let the distractions of everyday life pull you off course? How many times have you given in to doubt, fear, or external opinions? Focus is about taking back control. It's about reclaiming your attention and making your dreams a priority, no matter how chaotic the world around you gets. And here's another critical piece to maintaining momentum. Celebrate the small wins. So often, we wait for the big, grand victories to feel like we've achieved something. But let me tell you, success is built on a million small wins. Every time you move forward, no matter how seemingly insignificant, you are closer to your goal. Celebrate those moments, acknowledge them, because each small victory strengthens your momentum, giving you the energy to push through the tougher times. Now, this doesn't mean that you'll never face setbacks or discouragement. The reality is, there will be days when you want to quit, when you feel like giving up is easier than pressing on. But when you've built momentum, when you've learned to take consistent action, focus on what matters, and celebrate your progress, you'll find that quitting is no longer an option. Momentum becomes a force that pulls you forward. It carries you when you can't carry yourself. It's like the rolling of a snowball. At first, it's small and barely noticeable, but the more it rolls, the more powerful it becomes. So, how can you keep momentum alive in your own life? Start by making small, intentional actions every day. Focus on one thing at a time and block out distractions. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. And when things get tough, remember that even the smallest step forward is a step toward the life you want. Momentum isn't about waiting for the right time to act. It's about acting when you don't feel like it. It's about moving forward when every part of you wants to stand still. The more you push yourself to keep going, the more unstoppable you'll become. Chapter 5. The Power of Vision. Vision is the unseen force that drives you forward. It's the picture you hold in your mind of what could be, what should be. It's your internal compass guiding you through the stormy seas of life, and it's the spark that keeps the fire of motivation burning bright, even when everything around you feels uncertain. Have you ever set a goal that felt almost impossible? Maybe it seemed so distant that it was hard to even imagine achieving it. Yet somehow, in the back of your mind, there was a vision, a clear, vivid picture of what success would look like. That vision became the motivation that fueled your daily efforts, even on the days when you didn't feel like moving forward. That's the power of vision. Without a clear vision of what you want, it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day grind. Without vision, life becomes a series of random actions with no clear direction. You wake up, go through the motions, and at the end of the day, feel like you haven't made any real progress. But with vision, everything changes. It gives you purpose. It turns every task, every challenge, every moment of pain into a step towards something greater. The key to using vision to propel you through tough times is not just having a dream or a goal. It's connecting with it emotionally. Vision is not just about where you want to go. It's about why you want to go there. Why does this goal matter to you? What will achieving it mean for your life? What kind of person will you become once you've reached it? When you truly connect with the emotional core of your vision, it becomes more than just an idea. it becomes a driving force. It becomes the reason you wake up every morning with purpose. It becomes the reason you don't quit when things get hard. Your vision creates the energy that propels you forward even when your body is tired and your mind is filled with doubts. Let me share an example from the life of a man who achieved extraordinary success, Steve Jobs. Jobs had a vision, not just to create technology, but to change the world. He envisioned a future where technology was accessible to everyone, where devices could transform the way we live, work, and communicate. This vision was clear in his mind and heart, and it became the driving force behind Apple's innovations. Through the highs and lows, through setbacks and failures, Jobs never lost sight of his vision, and it's that unwavering commitment to his vision that helped him create one of the most influential companies in the world. But here's the thing, vision doesn't come with a roadmap. It's not about knowing exactly how you'll get from point A to point B. Vision is about knowing why you want to get there, and then trusting that the path will reveal itself. It's about having the courage to take the first step, even when the road ahead is unclear. Think about your own life for a moment. What is the vision you hold for yourself? What is the future you want to create? Maybe it's a successful career, a life of financial freedom, or a world where you can make a meaningful impact. Whatever it is, that vision is what will keep you grounded when things get tough. It will be the anchor that keeps you moving forward, even when the waves of life are crashing all around you. To truly harness the power of vision, you need to take a few crucial steps. First, visualize your success. Take time every day to vividly imagine what success looks like for you. What do you see, hear, and feel in that moment? The more you immerse yourself in this vision, the more it becomes real, the more it feels achievable. Second, stay connected to your vision. Life can easily pull you in many directions, but when you're clear about your vision, you know where to focus your energy. Don't let distractions derail you. Remind yourself of your vision every day, whether through affirmations, meditation, or simply taking a moment to pause and reflect. And lastly, take inspired action. Your vision is powerful, but it will not come to fruition unless you take action toward it. Every small step, no matter how insignificant it may seem, is a step toward making that vision a reality. The vision doesn't just motivate you, it activates you. It creates momentum that propels you to take action, even when the road is hard. Vision isn't a luxury for the few, it's a necessary for everyone. It's the force that allows ordinary people to achieve extraordinary things. It's the difference between drifting through life and living a life of purpose. When you have a clear, emotionally connected vision, you can weather any storm and emerge stronger on the other side. So, take a moment right now. Close your eyes and visualize your future, the life you want to create, the person you want to become. Let that vision fill you and let it guide you through every obstacle, every setback. Keep that vision in your heart and mind, and no matter how hard the journey gets, you'll know exactly why you're pushing forward. Chapter 6. The importance of consistency. Success is built on the daily, often mundane, actions that accumulate over time. It's the compound effect of showing up, doing the work, and sticking with it, even when no one is watching. In a world that's obsessed with quick wins and instant gratification, consistency is the quiet force that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who give up too soon. Think about it. Overnight success doesn't exist. The most successful people you admire didn't get there by doing something extraordinary once in a while. They got there because they did something extraordinary every day. They built habits, routines, and systems that kept them moving forward, even when the world around them was impatient or distracted. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not the flashy moments of victory that we see on social media. It's the grind. The early mornings, the late nights, the times when you feel exhausted and question whether it's even worth it. But here's the secret. It's those moments of quiet persistence that shape you. They build your character, they strengthen your resolve, and more importantly, they compound. Every day you show up, you're moving one step closer to your goal. It might feel small, it might feel insignificant, but over time, that consistency adds up. Imagine planting a tree. You don't expect it to grow overnight. You water it, nourish it, and care for it day after day. Some days, the growth is barely noticeable, but as time passes, the tree gets stronger, its roots grow deeper, and eventually, it stands tall and resilient. Success works the same way. It's the small, consistent actions that create deep-rooted growth, even when it doesn't feel like anything is changing. Let me give you an example. Let's talk about the story of Jerry Seinfeld, the legendary comedian. Seinfeld didn't become one of the world's most successful comics overnight. He didn't wait for the perfect opportunity to write his material. Instead, he created a system. He made it a point to write new jokes every single day. And to stay on track, he created a simple yet powerful rule. Don't break the chain. Every day, he would mark an X on his calendar after writing jokes. And as the days went by, he built an unbroken chain of X's. The idea was simple. The longer the chain, the harder it was to break. This commitment to consistency, no matter how small the task, led to the steady accumulation of jokes, material, and, eventually, a career that would go down in history. You see, success is rarely the result of a single brilliant moment. It's the result of consistent, deliberate action, day after day, over a long period of time. And while the journey may seem slow, it's the consistency that builds momentum and creates irreversible change. This is where most people falter. They expect immediate results. They want to see instant success. But the truth is, it's the quiet consistency that drives real, lasting transformation. So how do you build consistency in your life? Start by making small commitments to yourself. What's one thing you can do every single day, no matter how small, that brings you closer to your goal? It doesn't need to be grand or complicated. It just needs to be something you can do consistently no matter what. Maybe it's writing for 10 minutes a day, working out for 20 minutes, or reading a chapter of a book. These small actions, done consistently, will compound into something much greater. Another key to consistency is accountability. Tell someone about your goals, share your intentions, and let them hold you accountable. When someone else is involved, you'll be more likely to stick to your commitments because you know that someone else is watching your progress. And if you slip up, don't beat yourself up, just get back on track and keep going. Consistency isn't about being perfect, it's about being persistent, no matter the setbacks. The final piece of the consistency puzzle is discipline. Discipline is what keeps you going when motivation fades. It's what pushes you to keep going even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the difference between dreaming about success and actually achieving it. It's the willingness to keep doing the work day in and day out without expecting immediate rewards. And over time, that discipline will transform into success. Remember, consistency isn't about grand gestures. It's about the little things, done over and over again until they become second nature. And eventually, when you look back, you'll see that those small, consistent actions have led you to the life you've always dreamed of. Chapter 7. The Role of Mindset in Overcoming Obstacles. Your mindset is the lens through which you see the world. It shapes how you interpret everything, your challenges, your setbacks, and even your successes. The most successful people in the world all share one common trait. They've learned to cultivate a mindset that empowers them no matter the circumstances. But here's the catch. Mindset isn't something you're born with. It's something you create. It's a set of beliefs, attitudes, and thought patterns that you can choose to cultivate over time. And the great thing is, you have the power to choose your mindset. The right mindset doesn't come from external circumstances or from waiting for things to get easier. It comes from within, from how you choose to respond to the challenges and obstacles in your life. There are two key mindsets that we're going to explore: the fixed mindset and the growth mindset. The fixed mindset believes that abilities and intelligence are set in stone. It's the belief that you're either good at something or you're not, that failure is a reflection of your inherent worth or capability. People with a fixed mindset see obstacles as insurmountable, and they avoid challenges to protect themselves from failure. On the other hand, the growth mindset is rooted in the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort, learning, and persistence. People with a growth mindset view obstacles as opportunities to grow rather than threats to their success. They understand that failure is not a reflection of their abilities, but a necessary part of the learning process. When they encounter setbacks, they don't give up. Instead, they ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I improve?" Here's the thing: your mindset determines your outcome. If you approach life with a fixed mindset, you'll find yourself avoiding challenges, giving up easily, and staying stuck in the same place. But with a growth mindset, you'll embrace challenges, persist through difficulties, and ultimately succeed beyond what you once thought possible. Let me give you an example. Michael Jordan, considered by many to be the greatest basketball player of all time, was famously cut from his high school basketball team. Most people would have given up after such a setback, but Jordan didn't. He didn't let failure define him. Instead, he used it as fuel to improve. He embraced the growth mindset, using every loss as an opportunity to develop his skills. His mindset was the foundation of his relentless work ethic and eventual success. But it's not just about succeeding in the traditional sense. A growth mindset also affects how you handle life's challenges. The truth is, life will throw you curveballs. Things won't always go as planned. You'll face obstacles that seem impossible to overcome, but with the right mindset, those obstacles don't define you. They're simply the stepping stones that help you grow. One of the most powerful tools in cultivating a growth mindset is reframing. Reframing is the practice of changing how you view a situation in order to change your emotional response to it. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough to achieve this," try reframing it to, "I'm not there yet, but I can learn and improve." This shift in perspective doesn't just make obstacles easier to handle, it makes them exciting opportunities for growth. Reframing also applies to the way you view failure. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of your inability, start viewing it as feedback. When you fail, you're not failing as a person, you're simply learning what doesn't work. The more you fail, the more you learn, and the closer you get to success. In fact, failure is often the best teacher you'll ever have. The most successful people are not those who never fail. They're the ones who fail the most and keep going. They embrace failure, learn from it, and use it as a stepping stone toward greater success. They know that failure is not the end. It's simply a part of the process. So how do you shift your mindset to one of growth? Start by changing the way you talk to yourself. Replace thoughts like, "I can't do this," with, "I can learn how to do this." Instead of saying, "This is too hard," say, "This is hard, but I'll figure it out." Your inner dialogue is one of the most powerful forces in shaping your mindset. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself and make a conscious effort to shift from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Another way to build a growth mindset is to surround yourself with people who inspire you and challenge you to grow. Seek out mentors, friends, and communities that encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and push your limits. When you're around people who believe in growth, it's easier to believe in it yourself. Your mindset shapes everything: your actions, your reactions, and the way you navigate through life's challenges. So, choose to cultivate a mindset that empowers you. Choose the mindset of growth, resilience, and possibility. Because when you shift your mindset, you shift your entire life. Chapter 8: The Power of Habits and Routines. When we talk about success, we often focus on big, groundbreaking moments, the breakthrough ideas, the major wins, the moments of inspiration that seem to change everything. But the truth is, success is built in the small, everyday actions. It's in the habits you form, the routines you establish, and the discipline you develop over time. These are the quiet forces that shape your life, often more than any dramatic, one-time event. Habits are powerful because they are the foundation of everything you do. They shape your thoughts, your energy, and your actions without you even realizing it. A successful person doesn't just have a few successful moments, they have successful habits that make those moments possible. They understand that the life they're building is a result of the choices they make every single day. Think about the habits you've built over time. What do they say about you? Are they helping you move closer to your goals, or are they keeping you stuck in the same place? Your habits don't just define what you do, they define who you are. They're the blueprint for your success or failure. But the beauty of habits is this: if you're not happy with where you are, you can always change them. You have the power to rewire your daily routines and habits to align with the person you want to become. The first step in creating powerful habits is to start small. It's easy to get overwhelmed by the idea of making massive changes in your life. But success isn't about radical transformation all at once. It's about making small, consistent changes over time. You don't have to wake up and run a marathon tomorrow. You don't need to change your entire diet or radically overhaul your routine today. What matters is starting with one small change, one habit, and then building from there. Let me give you an example. If you want to be healthier, instead of setting a goal to lose 30 pounds in a month, start with a small habit. Drink more water every day, go for a walk every morning. The key is consistency. Once that small habit becomes automatic, you can build on it, adding more healthy habits and eventually creating a lifestyle that supports your goals. Habits work because they automate your behavior. The more you repeat an action, the easier it becomes. Eventually, those actions become part of your routine. You don't have to think about them anymore, they just happen. That's the power of habit. The more you engage in positive, productive habits, the more they become ingrained in who you are. But it's not just about forming good habits, it's also about eliminating bad ones. Bad habits can be insidious. They don't always show up as destructive behaviors, but they can slowly drain your energy and keep you stuck in mediocrity. If you're not intentional about your habits, it's easy to fall into patterns that don't serve you. So, take a hard look at your current habits. Are there any that are holding you back? Are there habits that, if you replace them with something more positive, could change the trajectory of your life? To replace bad habits with good ones, you need to make them as easy as possible to stick to. Break down your goals into simple, actionable steps. Want to read more? Start with 5 pages a day. Want to be more productive? Focus on one task at a time. The key is making it easy for yourself to succeed, especially in the beginning. The more you can automate your actions and set up your environment for success, the more likely it is that you'll stick with it. Another powerful tool in forming habits is accountability. When you're trying to change your behavior, having someone to support you can make all the difference. Whether it's a friend, a coach, or an online community, accountability creates a sense of responsibility and encourages you to keep going, even when you feel like giving up. But the most important element in building habits is discipline. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your reality. It's what keeps you going when motivation fades and when the distractions of life try to pull you away. You don't always have to feel motivated to do something. You just have to show up and do it, even on the days you don't feel like it. Discipline is what makes success sustainable over the long term. It's the muscle that you build through consistent action, even when it's hard. So if you want to transform your life, start by focusing on your habits. Choose the habits that will take you closer to your goals and make them a daily part of your routine. Commit to consistency, be disciplined, and understand that every small action you take is building towards something bigger than you can imagine. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you of one last thing. You are in control. The life you want to create, the person you want to become, is entirely up to you, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, patience, and most importantly, action. The way you push through tough times, the way you keep moving forward, is by making intentional choices every day. If this message has resonated with you, if you're ready to push yourself to new heights and create lasting change, I want you to take action right now. Start by changing one habit today, just one small step. And as you build upon it, you'll be amazed at the progress you can make. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because this journey doesn't end here. Every new video is another chance for you to grow, learn, and push yourself further than you ever thought possible. Subscribe, stay with us, and together, let's build the life you've always dreamed of. You've got this.